Hey there, welcome back to Andrew's Collectibles. Today is AC Review Series, and for today I'm going to be reviewing the new Netflix series, The Toys That Made Us. I just finished it last night, and all in all, I thought it was a pretty good series. Lots of good information for collectors, for people that just want to reminisce about 70s and 80s nostalgia. And some of the highlights for me, the things that really made me think is, how many toys were out there in the 80s that were so great, between He-Man and the story of how they made He-Man and the story of how they made G.I. Joe and all that good stuff. There's a lot to know, like a lot to learn about like what exactly goes on in the makers' minds of how they made these toys. So that being said, if you haven't watched it, it's definitely worth a watch. It's 4 episodes long. Each episode's about an hour. Starts with Star Wars, then does Barbie, then does He-Man, then does G.I. Joe. I want to say that's how it went. But I didn't know a lot about the Barbie stuff, and being a father of a little girl, knowing that all the rarity of some of the Barbies, and I see them everywhere. So I've kind of decided that I'm going to take a keener look at when I pick up Barbies for her, because I might be throwing around Malibu Barbies or some of these rare old ones and just not really thinking about it. So it's definitely worth watching. The one that really resonated with me was the He-Man one, because with the new movie coming out and all the new kind of like in fashion of like people are buying He-Mans, like the prices are going up online and all that stuff. It's really interesting to see that toy line was created basically as like a masochistic way to make boys feel more powerful. So I thought it was really cool. If you haven't watched any of those episodes, watch He-Man. It's pretty neat. Even if you just watch one of the episodes, the story of how they created it. It was one guy that designed all these characters at Mattel at the time, and it was pretty cool. So it's definitely worth sitting down and watching. You can binge it. It's only 4 hours if you want. But my thoughts on it, I have no critiques. I hope they do more. I don't know why they didn't do a Transformers one. I mean, they kind of talked about Hasbro and how they did the G.I. Joes, and that was cool. And they kept talking like they didn't have a toy line at that time in the 80s, and I was like, wait a minute. Didn't Hasbro and Takara release Transformers at the same time? Like, why isn't this being talked about? So kind of interesting, and the story behind why Snake Eyes has no decals or anything on him is super cool too. And it's funny that became one of their more iconic toys. So I hope that they do more. It'd be cool to see like maybe some of the Transformers or other kind of neat toy lines from the 80s or even 70s would be neat, like the Fisher Price stuff or stuff like that. So all in all, great series. It's definitely worth watching. Just a short review today. If you get a chance, fire it up, take a look, and comment with what your thoughts were. What did you find the most interesting thing? As a collector, I think it's something that you got to watch just to kind of, reminisce and see what they're talking about. It's definitely increasing prices online. People are starting to remember some of these toys and wanting to buy them. So it's good for people that are resellers. It's bad, I guess, for collectors if you're looking to buy on the cheap. But maybe it'll get some more of those toys out in the open because people will start going through boxes in their basement. So hope you guys enjoy the review. Let me know what you thought. As always, like, comment, subscribe below, and have a great day. Thanks.